So, some of you might know that Overwatch is my favorite game, and in my favorite game, Reinhardt is my favorite character, and I am a Reinhardt main with over 1,000 hours and an unhealthy obsession apparently with putting a shield up. So, naturally, when Hasbro announced their Overwatch line, Reinhardt was my absolute number one want, and I think they really delivered because honestly, this is the original figure right here, and you know, the sculpt is just dead on. Articulation, it's Reinhardt, so, I mean, you don't really need him to do the splits, but he's more mobile than you expected, or about as mobile as you can expect, I guess. And, you know, but I've had this figure for a very long time, and I didn't really have too much of an issue with it, but this sort of metallic swirly plastic really started bothering me. So, like you can see here, this looks like a crack right here, but this is actually just the plastic being a bit marbled. Like, it's almost like a weird see-through plastic, and quite a lot of detail was missing. So, what I did... Oh, and these legs are really weird on this particular one. So what I did was I grabbed some Stormhost Silver by Citadel, and I bought a second figure, and as you can see, now you can truly appreciate just how good this sculpt is. Like you see, he's just clean. He's got like scratches here and there, but they're sculpted in because his armor is quite worn and old. If you read the comics, it's supposed to like pretty much only be held together by Brigitte's love and care. So yeah, a lot of little extra tidbits painted on. I painted the inside of the jet booster at the back, and in general, like, the entire thing is just repainted. And honestly, this is probably my favorite figure of all time. As you can see here as well, this figure is really, really dark. I'm gonna put a screen cap of Reinhardt in a well-lit environment, but if you think this one looks too bright, I guess. But as you can see, very, very dark. I'll probably try to resculpt this into Baldric at some point. That's the primary reason why I bought a second one, so... Yeah, but I just wanted to make like a little video about it. Well, him. I also painted the orange here in the visor and made it like a nice gradient effect. And another thing I did was, if you look... I didn't actually realize this myself until I watched Anthony's Customs review of this figure, but you can tell the foot is like attached at a weird angle. Like, this bit here should line up with this seam line here, because this is the middle of the leg, but it's really not. It's really far off to the side. You can probably see it even better on this one. So I removed the feet, and I filled up the hole with glue, and I then drilled a new hole to make the middle piece here line up with the tip of the boot here. Also, moving on, I naturally had to repaint his hammer as well. So this is the original hammer right here. Quite plain, simple, the same marbled plastic. And here is the repainted hammer with more of that nice Stormhost silver. Made the fire a bit more realistic, painted the yellow lights. Bottom is just as painted. So yeah, I'm really hoping that Hasbro's gonna make more figures for Overwatch 2. I think the line sold a bit poorly, but I know for a fact they had more figures in the planning stage. Like, I know there was an unreleased Ana with her unmasked head, and I really, really wanted it, but I even asked the guy on Twitter if he was selling it, because there was one that showed up on eBay and I had no idea, so all I've seen is pictures. But I even asked the guy if he wanted to sell it, but he didn't want to, so unlucky me. But yeah, I really cannot get enough of this figure.
Reinhardt at your service. Honor and glory. Huh! Honor! Justice! Reinhardt! Ha ha!
This is just like old times, Reinhardt.
The old timers must stick together. Teach these kids a thing or two. Just like old times, hey, Honor?
Reinhardt, things may change, but you never do.
I have been called. I must answer. Always.
I guess now is also the opportune moment to show the side-by-side of the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Bundeswehr Reinhardt, because I bought a second one just to keep in box, because I don't normally keep things in boxes, but this was such a special thing for me, so I just had to do it. Plus, I really like this display in here with like the shadow effect in there, and you know, it's a great looking figure, but as you can see, my repaint of this figure is quite obviously better. Not to toot my own horn, but I am, so deal with it, I guess. There's just so much paint missing on this guy. Like, look at that metal plate up there, for instance. It's completely unpainted. Meanwhile, I painted mine silver, and I added so much more camo. And you know, it's just, I don't really know which one I prefer more, because if we bring in the default skin here, I was just really lucky that they made an exclusive Reinhardt in general, just because I really do love this head. I could not ask for a better head sculpt, and it's also really timely that Hasbro just started using the face printing technology. Like by the time the Overwatch figures came out, because look at this paint job, it's absolutely gorgeous. It looks spot on. Like, this is the reason why, you know, the Hasbro Overwatch line is so precious to me. It's just fantastic figures and my favorite game of all time. And the game, like, aside from being fun, the game just holds such a special place for me, because I've met so many people through it, and I bonded with so many more people. Old friendships have been rekindled, etc. So yeah, nothing really else to say about this, but I don't know. Not sure if I'll be making another video on Reinhardt, so just figured I would show off the comparison while I still had the chance.